Hi, that's the weekly report of my artistic process, and today I'm going to show you a couple of things that I created this week. This week was long and a little bit exhausting, but I had a great time as well, and had inspiration to create a couple of funny things. So let's start from this thing. I've made this little statue out of the solid piece of wood that I found outside on the streets of Tbilisi. So as you can see, it's covered with paint and it has these little holes which are made naturally by the bugs living inside of the tree. I wasn't aware of them when I found the trunk, so it became visible only when I started carving, but I can bet these bugs are still living there because sometimes I can really hear them scratching, and it's not a hallucination because my friends and wife heard it as well. So I guess someday somebody may get out of it, and it's a little bit creepy. But I couldn't figure out how to keep it inside because I've tried to freeze it in the refrigerator and I've tried to cover it with plastic, but it didn't help at all. It's still scratching there inside. I've read somewhere in the internet that these caterpillars of these bugs may live there inside of the trunks for years. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Anyway, it's just a funny thing. As you can see, I've added that golden paint and tried to imitate it coming out of these holes because I thought that it's the points where the soul become visible and it's kind of leaking out of the body. So this work is somewhat about vulnerability and being honest and generous towards the world. Anyway, it was great fun to create it because I'm really missing woodworking. If you didn't know, I was working as a carpenter for several years before my immigration, and I wasn't able to run the workshop after the immigration. So that's the kind of thing I really love doing, and I believe I could start doing woodworking and also working with metal after my second immigration. That's coming on April. So yeah, looking forward to get back to this crafting and working with natural materials. Another little thing that I've created was this, I don't know how to call it, collage maybe. The light does not help to focus. By the way, I'm trying the new lighting schemes with this limited amount of light and lamps that I have right now. So please write in the comments if you like this visual setting and maybe if you like it more than the previous videos or whatever you think about it, please let me know. Back to this little piece. As you can see, it's the abstract symbols which are glued on the base, and this golden pattern is made of the same stencil actually, so I cut it off and glued on the base, trying to follow their original order. But as we can see, when I painted over the stencil with this golden paint, it appears that it's not matching at all. So I thought that this work is about some life transformations that happens sometimes, and as you can see, the person appearing pretty much the same as before. However, if you would able to have some more precise comparison, you would see that this new person is not really even close to the previous one. So yeah, for me it appears that this topic of transformation is kind of the core of my work right now and my previous work from 2025, because almost all of the works from 2025 were about transformation as well. So I can see this unconscious reflection, and sometimes it's conscious, but at this case it was absolutely intuitive work. And I kind of enjoyed this process, and I wanted to move towards abstraction a little bit more for the past months. So I think I would rethink and a little bit transform this technique and idea and maybe use it in further works somewhere. I already have a couple of ideas, but I'm not really sure about them, so not spoilering. Well, another thing that I was doing is experimenting with chemical paint, trying to make the pigment out of the rust, but I haven't made any work out of it yet, and I will continue my experiment next week. So I guess you will see the result at the next week report episode. What else? Well, I've visited the couple of exhibitions. I was walking through the city with my friend, and there was the new exhibition in Stamba. I don't know how to spell the name of this place correctly. So there is always some exhibition running because there is photography and multimedia museum. It's called like that, I guess. So there is always something in between contemporary art and some conventional type of art, if I could say that. Well, it's generally contemporary as well, but it's less experimental than the things that we are doing in our immigrant art community here. It was fun and it was beautiful, and I guess I would visit this exhibition again and spend a little bit more time there because we were like passing through and we're not really focused. So yeah, it's definitely worth to look at. And another exhibition was the great exhibition of Georgian artist Mirab Abramishvili, and I visited it before a couple of times, and I was happy to see it again because his works are really stunning, and the exhibition setup itself is far beyond perfect in my opinion. Just look at this lighting. These lights are projected precisely on every painting, and it creates this effect of glowing at the same time not creating shadows when you come closer. So it was really stunning, and I love the amount of details on his paintings, and in general it has some kind of vibe that I enjoy. So if you'd be able to see his exhibition somewhere, I highly recommend you to do it. The last thing that I've spent a lot of time on is the text for my lecture about the archetype of the magician in the second quarter of 21st century. And it is the lecture that I'm going to hold next week. So I'll tell about it more in the next week review episode as well. But I may say that it is kind of new thing for me. I don't know what to expect, and I feel very uncertain about it. It would be interesting to see how it's gonna turn out. I got a little bit used to speaking on camera throughout this year, but I'm still a very bad public speaker in my opinion, so I feel a little bit nervous about that. Well, I think that's it for now. Please let me know what do you think about the lighting setup and the image in this video, because I really not enjoying the lighting and the picture in the previous videos, and I don't know what to think about this, and I want to know your honest opinion on that. Thanks a lot for watching, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one.